Are you ready to make your English listening and speaking skills better? Have you ever found it hard to understand native speakers in real situations? Or maybe you wanted to express yourself but could not find the right words? In this article, I will share real-life stories, useful vocabulary, and clear examples to help you speak English more confidently. We will also practice simple sentences together. Why listening is so important. Listening is not just about hearing the words. It is about understanding what people mean in real situations. The more you listen to English, the more natural it will feel to you. When you hear common phrases many times, you will feel more comfortable using them yourself. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, my friend Daniel visited New York for the first time. He was very excited but also nervous about speaking English. On his first day, he went into a small cafe to order breakfast. He wanted a croissant and a coffee, he said with confidence. "Can I have a croissant and a coffee, please?" But the cashier looked confused and asked, "Sorry, what was that?" Daniel repeated his order, but the cashier still did not understand. He started to feel nervous. Then another customer said, "He means a croissant." Suddenly, the cashier understood. Daniel learned an important lesson. Pronunciation can make a big difference. Even if you know the word, it can sound very different in real life compared to a textbook. This is why real listening practice is so important. Learning expressions in real life. Another example is from my cousin Emma. She moved to Canada for work. She spoke English well, but found it hard to follow fast conversations. People used slang and often interrupted each other. One day, her manager said, "Can you touch base with Mike about the new project?" Emma was confused. She thought, "Should I touch something?" Later, she learned that touch base means check in or talk briefly about something. After this, she started paying more attention to idioms and expressions. She listened carefully to how people used them and practiced repeating them. Tip for you: when you hear a new phrase, do not only memorize the meaning. Listen to how people use it. Repeat it aloud. Use it in your own sentences. This will help it feel natural. Common phrases you might hear. Imagine you are at a hotel and the receptionist says, "Would you like a wake-up call?" If you do not know this phrase, you might think they are talking about life advice. In fact, it means that the hotel will call your room in the morning to wake you up. Small moments like this happen all the time. Listening to real conversations helps you understand these phrases before you need them. Let's practice now. Repeat after me. "I'd like to order a coffee, please." "Could you repeat that, please?" These are polite, simple sentences you can use anywhere. Understanding everyday speech. My friend David moved to London for his dream job. He had studied English for years, mostly from books, but when he arrived, he found real conversations much harder than he expected. On his first day, a coworker said, "Hey, David, let's grab a bite." David thought, "Grab what?" He followed his coworker to a cafe and finally understood it meant get something to eat. From then on, David decided to listen to English every day. He joined conversations at lunch and asked questions when he did not understand. Little by little, his listening skills improved. Soon, when his manager said, "Let's wrap things up," he knew it meant, "Let's finish." Travel conversations. If you travel to an English-speaking country, you will often hear phrases you might not know. For example, at the airport, the immigration officer might ask, "What's the purpose of your visit?" They are simply asking for your reason, like tourism or visiting family. My cousin Sophia went to Australia and heard, "Do you have anything to declare?" She thought it sounded serious, but it just meant, "Do you have anything to report, like food or alcohol?" Practice. Repeat these questions after me. Where are you traveling from? Do you have a return ticket? The more you hear and say them, the more confident you will feel. Ordering food and drinks. Ordering food can also bring surprises. In the US, a cashier might ask, "For here or to go?" meaning eat here or take away. They might also say, "Can I get you something?" Or, "That'll be $5.50. If you do not know these phrases, you could feel unsure. Practice. What can I get for you? That'll be $5.50. Hearing and repeating these phrases will help you feel more natural. The value of small talk. Small talk is casual conversation in everyday life, like when you meet someone new or wait for a bus. My friend Maria from Spain moved to an English-speaking city. She thought small talk was not important. But soon, she realized it was part of daily life. Her coworker asked, "How was your weekend?" She simply said, "It was good. I went to the park with my family." This was enough to start a friendly exchange. Tip: people do not expect long answers in small talk. Simple replies and follow-up questions work best. For example, "It was nice, thank you. What about you?" Understanding different accents. Sometimes the challenge is not the words, but the accent. When I was in New York, I asked for directions to the subway. The man said, "Go straight ahead, take a left at the lights, and you'll see it on your right." He spoke quickly, so I had to listen carefully. Expressions like "at the lights," meaning at the traffic lights, are common but not always taught in books. Tip: learn common phrases for directions, like go straight, turn left, around the corner, and a few blocks away, handling problems and complaints. In real life, sometimes things do not work the way we expect. Knowing how to explain a problem in English is very useful. One time, I stayed in a hotel for a work trip. When I tried to use the Wi-Fi, it was not working. I called the front desk and said, "Excuse me, the Wi-Fi is not working in my room. Could you help me?" The receptionist replied, "I am sorry to hear that. Let me check and see what I can do." After a few minutes, she called me back and explained that the Wi-Fi was down in the whole building, but it would be fixed soon. She was polite, which made me feel better. Tips for you. Stay calm when explaining your problem. Use clear phrases like, "I am having trouble with," "There is a problem with." Listen carefully to the reply. You might hear, "Let me check on that for you. I will have someone take care of it." If you do not understand, you can say, "Could you explain that again? I did not catch that. Could you repeat it?" Practicing in cafes and restaurants. Imagine you walk into a cafe in London. The barista smiles and says, "What can I get you today?" You order a latte and they reply, "That'll be 3.5 pounds. Would you like a pastry with that?" This is normal, friendly language you might not hear in textbooks. You can practice by imagining yourself in a cafe and saying your order aloud. "I'd like a cappuccino, please." "Could I also have a sandwich?" Repeating these sentences will make them part of your natural speech. Asking for directions. Picture yourself in New York City. The streets are busy, and you want to find a museum. You ask, "Excuse me, could you please tell me how to get to the Metropolitan Museum of Art?" Someone says, "Go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left at the big intersection. The museum will be on your right." Listen for clear steps. Go straight, turn left, on your right. Practice repeating them so you can understand them quickly in real situations. Starting small talk. Small talk can also happen with strangers. One afternoon in London, I met a man named Alex at a community event. He started with, "Lovely weather today, isn't it?" I replied, "Yes, it's beautiful. I love how the sunshine brightens everything." This simple start led to a friendly chat about outdoor activities and weekend plans. Practice these small talk questions. "How are you today?" "What have you been up to lately?" "The weather is nice, isn't it?" Professional conversations. In work meetings, you might hear phrases that are not clear at first. For example, your manager might say, "Let's circle back to that later," which means, "Let's return to that topic later." If you hear a new phrase at work, write it down and ask about it later if you need to. This way, you build your list of professional expressions. Practice these work phrases. Let's wrap things up. Let's finish. Could you confirm your availability? I will send a calendar invite. Phone conversations. Phone calls can be harder because you cannot see the other person's face or body language. Once, I called my internet company. The representative said, "Can you please describe the problem you are experiencing?" I replied, "My connection keeps dropping." He said, "I understand. Let me run a diagnostic test." Practice for calls. Could you please repeat that? I did not catch that. Could you speak more slowly, please? Travel announcements. At airports, you might hear formal announcements like, "Due to bad weather, your flight will be delayed by 30 minutes. If you are unsure what it means, you can ask staff. Could you tell me what the delay is about? Useful travel phrases. Flight delayed. Boarding time. Gate number. Talking about hobbies. In casual conversations, people often ask about hobbies. Someone might say, "What do you enjoy doing in your free time?" You could answer, "I love reading, hiking, and trying new recipes." Describing your hobbies is a good way to practice adjectives like exciting, relaxing, and fun. Meetings and presentations. In work meetings, you will often need to share plans and updates. For example, "We need to finalize the project by Friday. Please confirm if you can attend the meeting." Listening to these types of sentences will help you prepare for professional communication. Talking to service providers. If you stay in a hotel and the Wi-Fi is not working, you might say, "Excuse me, the Wi-Fi in my room isn't working. Could you please help me?" The receptionist might answer, "I am sorry for the inconvenience. Let me check on that for you." Practicing these exchanges will help you speak politely and clearly when asking for help. Learning slang and regional words. In Australia, you might hear someone say, "This is a ripper deal," which means, "This is an excellent deal." Learning local slang is part of understanding English in different countries. When you hear a new slang word, write it down and try to use it in your own sentences. Talking with family and friends. At a family dinner, someone might ask, "What was the best part of your day?" You could say, "I had a wonderful conversation with a new friend at the cafe." Words like wonderful, enjoyable, and delightful are perfect for friendly conversations. Formal versus informal writing. In an email for work, you might write, "Dear Mr. Smith, I hope this email finds you well." When texting a friend, you might say, "Hey, are we still having dinner tonight?" Practice both styles so you can communicate in any situation. cultural and artistic conversations. Sometimes you might attend cultural events where people use more formal or descriptive language. Imagine you are at an art exhibition. The guide says, "This painting reflects the artist's feelings during a time of change." You might ask, "What inspired this style?" The guide could reply, "The use of bright colors shows the conflict between tradition and modern ideas." In these situations, you learn new vocabulary such as reflex, conflict, tradition, and modernity. These words can make your speech richer and more interesting. Practice. Think about a picture or a place you like. Try to describe it in simple English using adjectives like beautiful, colorful, peaceful, or bright. Academic conversations. If you are studying at a university, you might hear formal language. For example, the professor might say, "Today we will discuss the effects of climate change on cities." After the lecture, you could ask, "Could you explain more about the ways cities are preparing for climate change?" Academic conversations help you practice asking clear, detailed questions and listening for complex answers. Joining spontaneous conversations. You can also practice English in unexpected moments. Imagine you are at the park and hear people talking about the new playground. One person says, "The renovations have made this place much better." You could join in with, "I agree. The new playground is fantastic." These short, friendly exchanges help you practice quick responses. Learning from online conversations. Online chat rooms and discussion forums are a good place to see natural English. You might read a post saying, "Has anyone tried the new cafe downtown? It's lit." In this case, lit means great or fun. Online spaces often use slang, abbreviations, and casual style. Observing this will help you understand informal English better. Handling disagreements politely. Even in English, disagreements can happen. One useful phrase is, "I see your point, but I have a different opinion." You could also say, "Can we clarify our thoughts further?" This keeps the conversation respectful and friendly. Storytelling to share experiences. Telling a story in English helps you practice organizing your ideas. Start with something like, "One day I got lost in the city and it taught me to be more patient." When you tell stories, try to include details about what you saw, heard, and felt. This makes your speaking more colorful and engaging. Practice. Think about something interesting that happened to you this week. Try telling the story out loud in English, from beginning to end. Practicing common polite phrases. Here are some simple phrases you can use every day. "I appreciate your help. Could you please repeat that?" I did not catch that. That sounds interesting. I would love to join you. Repeat these sentences several times until they feel natural. Giving compliments at events like concerts or plays, you might want to say something nice. For example, the energy on stage is amazing. The performance is unforgettable. Learning to give compliments helps you connect with people. Asking for recommendations. In a bookstore, you might ask, "Could you recommend a good mystery novel?" The shop assistant might reply, "This one is very popular. It has a great story and interesting characters." When you ask for recommendations, listen to the adjectives they use. You can use those same words in your own speaking. Talking to public services. At a government office, you might hear, "Good morning. How may I help you?" You can reply, "I need to renew my passport, please." Be prepared to answer specific questions like, "Do you have the required documents?" Or, "Could you write down your passport number?" Speaking clearly will make these situations easier. Talking to doctors. At a clinic, the doctor might ask, "How have you been feeling recently?" You can answer, "I have been having headaches and feeling tired." To describe pain, you can use phrases like, "The pain is sharp." "The pain is mild." Being specific helps the doctor understand you better. Video calls and online meetings. In video meetings, you might hear, "Can everyone see my screen?" Or, "Please let me know if you have any questions." Video calls combine speaking, listening, and sometimes reading, if there are slides. Practice joining online events to get used to this style. Talking about news. Listening to English news can help you learn formal vocabulary. For example, local communities are working together to help flood victims. You could summarize it by saying, "The neighborhoods are helping each other after the floods." Summarizing news in your own words is a good way to practice both listening and speaking. Group discussions and debates. In group discussions, people share different opinions. Someone might say, "Social media has changed the way we communicate." You could reply, "I agree, but I think it also creates problems for face-to-face conversations." When you practice, focus on polite expressions like, "I agree with you, but that's an interesting point." Everyday shopping. In a store, you might say, "Excuse me, could you tell me where the electronics section is?" The shop assistant might reply, "It's on the second floor near the home appliances." Extra practice. If you need more help, add, "Could you please show me where that is?" Talking about weather changes. When the weather changes suddenly, someone might say, "Looks like it's going to rain. Let's find shelter." You could respond with, I'll get my umbrella. Learning simple weather phrases is useful in daily life. Talking about food preferences. At a dinner party, someone might say, Italian food is the best because of its rich flavors. You could reply, I like Italian food too, but I also enjoy spicy Thai dishes. Using adjectives like rich, spicy, and fresh makes your description more interesting. Nonverbal communication. Tone of voice and pauses are also important in English. If someone says, I can't believe it, their voice can show surprise or disappointment. Listening to tone helps you understand the full meaning. Building confidence through everyday interactions. Every conversation you have is a small step forward in your English learning journey. Whether it is ordering coffee, asking for directions, or joining a group discussion, each situation gives you the chance to practice. Imagine your future self walking into a cafe, greeting the staff, ordering your favorite drink, and chatting comfortably with the person next to you. This confidence is built slowly, one conversation at a time. Speaking in social gatherings. At a dinner with friends, the host might say, Let's raise a toast to friendship. Around the table, people share stories about their day or talk about travel plans. You can join in with comments like, That sounds wonderful, or I would love to visit that place one day. Listening carefully in these situations will teach you natural expressions for happy and friendly moments. Sharing ideas in workshops. In professional workshops, you might hear, We are here to share creative ideas. Someone could say, My idea is to create an app for local events. You might respond, That's interesting. Could you explain how it would work? This teaches you how to show interest, ask for details, and keep the conversation going. Negotiating in markets. In a market, you might hear, This item is $20. You could reply, Would you consider $15? The seller might answer, I can do $18. Polite negotiation phrases include, Would you consider? Is there a discount available? Brainstorming in a group. When brainstorming, one person might say, What if we try a new social media strategy? You could add, That's a good idea. Let's discuss how we can start. These situations help you practice agreement phrases and ways to offer new ideas, answering unexpected questions. Sometimes people will ask you questions without warning, like in networking events. Someone might say, Can you tell me about your work? You can prepare a short answer. I work in marketing. I help businesses connect with customers online. Practicing short introductions will make you ready for these moments. Shadowing, for better pronunciation. Shadowing means listening to native speakers and speaking at the same time as them. You can use podcasts, audiobooks, or short videos. Copy their tone, speed, and pauses. This will improve your rhythm and make your speaking sound more natural. Using language learning apps. Some apps let you record your voice and compare it with native speakers. You can get feedback on your pronunciation. This helps you improve faster. Discussing complex topics. As your skills grow, try talking about deeper subjects like dreams, goals, or life lessons. For example, I think patience is the most important skill for success. What do you think? Asking open-ended questions invites longer answers and better conversations. Practicing role plays. Practice speaking by acting out situations with a partner or by yourself. Pretend you are at a job interview, in a restaurant, or meeting a new neighbor. Switch roles so you practice being both the speaker and the listener. Mixing formal and informal styles. It is important to know when to speak formally and when to speak casually. Formal. Could you please confirm the meeting time? Informal. Can you tell me what time the meeting is? Switching between styles shows flexibility and understanding. Enjoying the process. Learning English is not only about reaching a goal, it is also about enjoying the journey. Celebrate small successes, like understanding a movie scene without subtitles or making a new friend in English. Final tips to keep improving. Practice every day, even for a few minutes. Listen to real English from podcasts, videos, and conversations. Repeat and use new phrases until they feel natural. Do not be afraid of mistakes, they are part of learning. Talk about topics you love so speaking feels easier and more fun. Speaking English with confidence is not about being perfect. It is about being clear, friendly, and comfortable. Every time you speak, you get better. Every time you listen carefully, you understand more. So keep practicing, keep listening, and keep talking. With each conversation, you are building not only your English skills, but also your confidence to connect with people all around the world.